Okay, so fine everyone, we are live. So with Naresh, so Naresh is going to talk about a Lang chain, by the way, and this live session is going to happen in a six different sessions: Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, Sunday, and Saturday, Sunday. So for next 3 weeks, Naresh is having a plan to deliver this entire practical Lang chain things with all of you, and he will be sharing a material. He will be sharing all the documents, and that will be available inside your YouTube description link, which you can check in a later stage. So yeah, Naresh, over to you. So I'll be leaving, and I believe I've done my job. So I have introduced you. So the platform is yours, everything is yours, audience is yours. So you can move in your way. Yeah. So fine, Naresh, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity, Sudhanshu. I'll carry on.
Yeah.
Uh, hey guys, I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So let me start what we are going to discuss today. So today we are going to discuss LangChain. Before going to LangChain, uh, I have some prerequisites. I have some expectations from the audience. Let me discuss that. Then we will jump into the LangChain. So first prerequisite should be basic Python knowledge is required, and second basic API knowledge is required. What is HTTP methods? How to call API calls, and then I'm expecting API keys, any one of API key, either it is OpenAI API key or Yuri API key or Gemini API key. Any LLM provider API key is sufficient to to continue this course. And in this, I am using Python version 3.10.11. Right. I hope you also use the same version so that we will be in a sync. uh, it's up to you. You can use whatever the version you want, 3.11 or 3.12, whatever it is. So 3.10 was the most stable one. That's why I have chosen 3.10 as my Python version for this tutorial. And the last prerequisites would be Visual Studio Code, where we use as an editor for coding this, along with a notebook extension. Right. All right. So there was a lot of background noise. Please ignore for today and tomorrow. There was a function happening outside. Uh, I hope everyone will support and understand. Right. So today's topics are simple. We are going to do a LangChain installation, and then we are going to create API keys from Yuri platform, OpenAI platform, Gemini, and as well as Hugging Face. After creating API keys, we will start interacting with LLMs. Basically, LLMs are two types. Closed source are proprietary models. So proprietary models means where we don't have any access. We can access those models through API only. Right. So after that, we will discuss how to access open source models as well. So my context in the sense of models is we are going to interact with LLMs as well as embedding models. Right. What is the goal of this series? The goal is going to be very simple. By the end of this series, 3 or 4 weeks of series, you will be able to build a LangChain workflows and agents on your own, confidently integrating any LLM in your workflows or in your agent flows. So this is going to be a clear goal. So I suggest if all of you start coding along with me, so that you will have a lot of fun. You will get your hands dirty. Then you will learn and build. Right. Okay. So first things first, what is LangChain? Right. So when LLMs comes into the picture, so everyone started building agents. So there were no certain rules, or LLMs are required some things like database LLMs needs to be interacted with databases. LLM needs to be interacted with vector stores. LLMs are need to interact with multiple things. Right? There was no certain rules or certain things are not followed from anyone. So then LangChain or any framework came into the picture, and they have given a framework, a framework where a developer's life became easy. This, if you use LangChain framework, you can easily build any agents or workflows with an ease, right? So going forward, I'll show you the demonstration, how to interact with LLMs using LangChain framework. And do we need to learn only LangChain? My question is, my simple answer would be no. See, we have 40 plus, agent frameworks are available currently in the market, right? So we cannot, learn every framework. So what we can do, we can pick one or two frameworks and become master in it, because all 40 frameworks use similar concepts in different way. So conceptual wise, if you are clear what framework does, then you no need to explore all 40 frameworks. I suggest you explore two or three frameworks are more than enough to understand how to build the agents, right? So what frameworks you are going to choose, it's up to you. It might be LangChain, it might be LangGraph, it might be Autogen, it might be agent development kit. If you come to no code tools, it might be N8N or Flowwise kind of frameworks, right? So every framework, in the end, every framework's goal is same, to simplify building workflows or agents, correct? Now, I hope I have cleared what LangChain and what any other agentic frameworks does. Right now, what are the key components in the LangChain? So every agent needs to interact with model. Why every agent need to interact with model? Because model acts like a brain to any agent. So whatever the decision your agent is going to take, it's purely depends on your model, right? So how we need brain for functioning our human body, similarly models are a brain for the AI agent. So obviously model will be uh, the first key component in LangChain. So what are other components? We need prompts to build the agents. We need sometimes if you want to build workflows, you need chains, and you need vector databases to build RAG based applications, right? And finally, memory management. So memory management is also a key concept in LangChain. So we will go through, this is the high level key components of LangChain. We will go through one by one every day. So today's topic would be models. We will cover models in detail. We will call API calls to models, and we will pass basic prompts, and then we'll show you the output. So I hope today's agenda is clear. Then we can jump into our Visual Studio Code. Uh, all right, guys. So let me open my Visual Studio Code. So I'm going to take a new folder for this series. So what I'll do, I will create a new folder quickly, and this folder name would be LangChain tutorial. Select folder. All right. So I have created a brand new folder for this. Create a virtual environment for this. What is virtual environment? Uh, virtual environment is an Python environment specific to this folder. Let's say you are developing multiple projects in your local system, right? So there will be a lot of library dependency issues will come. So to avoid those kind of dependency issues, we will create a separate virtual environment for this tutorial. So let me do one thing. Let me open my terminal. Yeah. So once you open the terminal, you have to create a virtual environment. Let me create the virtual environment. For that command, I'm going to use Python -m venv stands for virtual environment, and then we have to give virtual environment name. So I'm going to select lang tutorial as my virtual environment name. Clear, guys? Python -m virtual environment, and then name of your virtual environment. Then hit on enter. So once you click on enter, you can see that whatever the virtual environment name you have given, that name will appear inside your folder, right? In this case, I have given lang tutorial, so I can see that lang tutorial is available over here. Once virtual environment is created successfully, the next step would be you have to activate this virtual environment. For activate, what you have to do, you have to go to lang tutorial and then click on scripts. There is a python.exe and a python w.exe currently. Still, virtual environment creation is under progress. Yes. So it has created virtual environment successfully. Now you can see that you have several files with active. So what you have to do in Windows system, either you can click active. If you are using PowerShell, you have to activate.ps1 file, right? So what I'll do quickly, I'll do one thing. I'll go to that particular folder first. For that, what I need to do, I have to type lang tutorial. You can see that lang tutorial has been typed. Inside lang tutorial, you need to select scripts folder. Click on scripts. Sorry. Scripts is done. Once scripts is done, you have to select activate. Click on activate. Then hit enter. As soon as you hit enter, you can see that in a green color lang tutorial, which is my environment name, is available over here. It means now we have successfully created a virtual environment with Python, and as well as we have activated. So let me show what is my Python version I am using for this. As I mentioned earlier, I am going to use Python version 3. Uh, 3.10.11. It's a spelling mistake. Let me add Python hyphen version. So you can see over here, it is Python 3.10.11. All right. So what next? So we have successfully created everything, and we are going to write our first program, which is interacting with LLMs, right? So for that, we need API keys. So what I will do, I will try to create URI API key, and then we'll try to interact with any model from URI platform, right? For that, what you have to do, go to your browser, search for uran.1. This will be available for only Uran Plus users. So, in case you don't have any Uran subscription, you no need to be worry. We in going forward, I will also show you how to use OpenAI API keys and Gemini API keys, so you can easily create those API keys. Let me give a brief about Uran. So Uran is a platform where you can take one subscription and you can do whatever the course you want. We have GenAI interview boot camps, we have GenAI certification boot camps, we have full stack web development, have a DSA with Python boot camps, we have AIML series. All these are live lectures. Along with this, in the platform, you can also find self-paced series. Let me go through that also. So you can see that you have self-paced series as well. So all required only one Uran subscription, right? If you are interested in interested, please go and take the Uran subscription. And then second, Uran offers Uran consultancy. Let's project ideas, agent related ideas, and you are struggling to build. You can contact Uran team, and you have a three kinds of subscriptions over here. For this is for consultation purpose. If you have any project idea in your mind and you want to build those agents, you can contact Uran team, and you can take three kinds of subscriptions. One is silver subscription, gold, and as well as diamond. So if your idea is simple, and and you need any college projects or final year projects, you can opt for silver package. You have to pay 20,000 rupees. You can access the project within 3 months. And you have a gold pack, which is also called professional pack, and it is 35,000 plus GST. And it has the duration of 6 months. So see MVP and as well as production ready applications. Then final one, you have a diamond, which is also called startup pack, where you have to pay 60,000 rupees plus GST, and validity will be 12 months, where you can build entire professional features, multiple POCs, MVPs, and they'll give you Uran will give you high priority support, and as well as they will give you dedicated technical advisor for your project, so that if you have any doubts over your project, you can simply contact them and you can solve your issues, right? So this is about project consultation pack. For the students, we also have Enguron, which is for 6th to 12th. You can see that 6th to 12th students, where you can learn, AI coding and all. If any kids who are looking for, you can explore this option as well. One more feature is Uri feature, where you can see that a chat GPT kind of chatting system, where you can interact with multiple models. So before let me show you other options as well. um, you have a Uri API options. Through API key, you can access any models in the Uran ecosystem. And we have multiple internship offers. You can see over here, once you become I think this is the free for everyone, not only for Uran students. This is open for everyone. You can simply come to your internship portal, and you can quickly select what technology you would like to bring any project, select the technologies, and then get any project ideas, right? Once you get the you can select the project and start building, right? For that, you need to enroll that particular project. Once you finish the project, you can send or upload your source code in Uran platform. Then Uran platform will validate your project and issue a internship certificate as well, which is free of cost. Then after that, we have resume AI, where you know you can check your ATS score. It is absolutely free for plus members. You can upload your resume, or you can create a new resume. So I hope everyone knows already about this ATS systems. And then we have a jobs portal, where you can come to the portal and apply for the job, whichever job you are looking for. So after that, we have a Avani AI, where you can upload your resume, and AI will conduct a virtual interviews based on your resume. There will be 3 or 4 rounds will be there. So where based on your resume, it will select the questions, what technologies mentioned in your resume. So this is the brief about Uran platform. In case if you don't have any Uran subscription, I highly suggest you to take the Uran subscription, which is a minimal cost. I think somewhere around 5 to 6,000 rupees. With that, you will get all these features will be available, right? Let me quickly create a API key first. For that, what we have to do, we have to go to Uri API. Before that, let me show you what is this Uran chatting system. This is the chatting system similar like Chat GPT, where you can select your model. Uran has multiple models in it. You can have a Gemini 2.5 Pro, you have a 2.5 plus, you have a llama 4, you have a GPT-5 mini, you have GPT 4.1 as well. So whatever the model you want to interact with, you can select that particular model and you can ask any questions. Let me ask a simple question. Give me a Python program to add two numbers. So if you don't like the response of GPT 4.1 model, you can quickly change your model to GPT 5 or Gemini 2.5 Pro. This is absolutely free for Uran subscription candidates. Right. All right. So now what we will do, we will interact with our LLMs first. For that, we need one API key. So firstly, I am taking a Uri API key. In case if you don't have platform access, you no need to worry. Later stage, I'll show you how to create API key in OpenAI and interact with OpenAI models through OpenAI API key as well. Right. So once you click on this, what you have to do, you have to go to API keys. So I have several API keys already. If I want, I can continue any API key or I can create a new API key. For that, what I need to do, just click on create API key and then give a name to that API key. Let me give you Lang tutorial because I'm using same name everywhere. And then click on create. So once you click on create, you can see that your API key has successfully generated. Just copy that and then go here. So let me create a new file and I'm going to give this file as llm access dot ipynb. I hope everyone knows what is ipynb. It is a Python notebook extension. But in case if you don't have extension, please install that extension in your Visual Studio Code, or you can also use a Google Colab as well. Right. Then click on code mode. So now we have created the API key. Let's go to code examples, and you can see here this is in the Uran ecosystem. So for that, what you need to do, you need to import request first. Before importing request, what I need to do, I have to install the request library in my system, because since it is a new virtual environment I have created, so I don't have any libraries are installed. Right. For that, what I'll do, I'll quickly do pip install requests module, which will install a request library in my local system. Right. So let me do and copy this whole code, and then what I'll do, I'll go to my Visual Studio Code. The library is installing. Right, it has been installed successfully. Once it has been installed, let me paste my code over here and I will explain what this code does. So what we are doing, we are importing a request library first. Once we are importing request library, we have defined a generate completion function. What this function does, this function accepts any URL, right? And then it required a couple of things, headers to be requested. So one is content type, which already set as a application JSON, then authorization. So authorization I have copied just now. I think I have lost it. Let me do one thing. Let me create a new API key. I'll go to API keys, because once you create, you cannot see that API key. So what I'll do, I'll delete and create a new API key. So create a API key and give the same name, Lang tutorial. Create. Okay, so this is my Uri API key. copy it, and then go to your code. Just after bearer, whatever stars are there, remove those things and paste your API key. Right. So your headers are ready. Your URL is also ready. Right. What any request needs URL. If system is authorized, you have to pass authorization header, and then you have to pass a payload. So this is the payload example. How you have to pass payload messages inside role. You need to mention user, and you have to ask, give any input to the model, right? So content is nothing but your input to the model. So let me tell, since we are discussing LangChain, I will ask, what is LangChain? All right. So then you can select model. Coming to the model, we have several models hosted in Euron platform. You can select whatever the models you want. Right. Let me show you the model list, available models. You can click on available models, and then you can see you have a Quen 3 32 billion parameter model is there, and you have a image generation model is there, which is a Flux one, and then you have a DeepSeek models, DeepSeek R1 70 billion parameter model. You have a Gemini 2.0 Flash, Gemini 2.5 Pro, Gemini 2.5 Pro Preview, and 2.5 plus for embedding models. You can have Gemini embedding 001. Coming to Grok, we have several models in the Grok ecosystem as well, which is Grok Compound and Grok Compound Mini. So in Meta, Llama 4 is there. Llama 4 Maverick model is available. Llama 3.3 70 billion parameter is also available. So you can select whatever the model is. You can see that n number of options are available. So by default, what model we have? We have GPT 4.1 Nano. So we have a OpenAI models. So these are the models we have in OpenAI ecosystem, which is GPT 4.1 Nano. So same model we are going to access over here, and then we are passing max tokens. Max tokens we will discuss further as well. Let me give you brief instruction. Whatever the output model is generating for this input given by the user, you are telling that don't cross more than 1000 tokens. For now simplicity, you can think like one token is like a one word. So later we will see what is token and all. For now you think that one token is nothing but one word. And then temperature we will also discuss in the further. So this temperature refers to randomness in the answer. Zero will give you non-random answers. If you give the more temperature like 1.5 above 1, it will give you randomness in the answers. So we will discuss further as well these parameters. So once these and all declared, what you have to do, you have to call this. Since this is a post request, you have to call request.post. You have to pass URL, headers, and then payload. Once you done everything, then response will generate, and that response we are converting into JSON, and then we are printing that. In the end, we are going to call this particular method. So I hope code is very clear. It's a simple a post request, right? Let me quickly execute this. Let me say, click on play button over here, and it will ask you to select Python environments. Click on Python environments. We have seen that lang tutorial we have generated for this series. So I'm going to select same Python environment. So once you select everything, then click on execute. Click on install the kernel. So if you are already using earlier, it may not ask you this kernel. So once this is done, your code will start executing. So meanwhile, what we will do, we will see how to create OpenAI API key in the OpenAI platform. So we have seen how to create API key in Uri platform now. So Uri platform, now we will create in OpenAI platform as well. For that, what you have to do, you have to go to platform.openai.com. You no need to worry about these URLs. If you are following along with me, you no need to worry about these URLs. If you are following along with me, give all these links inside the document and upload it into the GitHub. You can access all these links easily from my GitHub. Just hit enter. Once you hit enter, if you don't have any account, it will ask you to create account. Since I already have account, I'm going to log in. So since if you are using platform.openai.com first time, you can click on sign up and quickly create an account. So I have already created my account. What I'll do, I'll click on login and then login from my account. All right. So you have a couple of options for sign up as well. You can continue, sign up with Google, or sign up with any Microsoft account, or you can use your Apple account. Also, you can use your phone number. If you don't want all this process, you can simply enter your email address and then create the account. So now I already have account. Let me log in into my account. Continue with Google. As well, and also it is taking more time for signing. Yeah, so this is my email ID. I'm going to select that particular email ID. Let it install completely. Meanwhile, I'll create OpenAI API key. Once you log in into the platform, you can see this kind of interface in the OpenAI platform. So what you have to do, you have to go to dashboard, click on dashboard. All right. So once you go to dashboard, you have several options over here. What you have to do, you have to quickly select API keys over here. Click on API keys. Then I have already created one API key. What you will do, you will select create new secret key. You have to give a name for the key. It is completely optional. If you want, you can give. If you don't want, you can ignore as well. So let me do one thing. Let me quickly give a Lang tutorial as my API key name. So project you can select by default, and permissions you can select all. If you want restricted options, and you can select what models you want to be restricted. So for now I'm going to select all, right? And then create a secret key. So after this series, I'm going to delete this secret key. So what I'll do, let me do one thing. Let me quickly copy this secret key and go to my Visual Studio Code. Meanwhile, my code is already executed. I will show you as well. Let me quickly create one file. I'll give my file name as .env. I'll tell you what it is, env and all, and I'll copy my API key. Right. So you can see that now our model has been generated the output from URI platform. Which model we have used? We have used GPT 4.1 Nano. Now, if you observe closely, we have got several things, right? It has given completion tokens, it has given prompt tokens. Prompt tokens are nothing but the question we have asked. What question we have asked? We have asked what is a LangChain, this and space and then question mark, right? This occupies 12 tokens, and then completion tokens, the answer model is generated, it has 195 tokens. And if you combine both the tokens, you can get the total tokens. Anyway, right now we no need to worry about these tokens and all. Our main intention is to show the model output. So model output will be having inside choices, inside indexes, inside message, role, assistant. So we asked the question as a role user, and our model responded with a role assistant, right? What are these roles? We will discuss in detail when we are discussing about a prompts component. All right. So now, for now, what you have to do, you can see the content. The answer model is given is LangChain is an open source framework designed to facilitate the development of applications. So this is the answer we have got. So with this, what we have done, we have taken URI API key, and then we have successfully interacted with GPT 4.1 Nano model through URI API key. Now, what we are going to next we are going to interact with OpenAI model using OpenAI API key, right? So for that, what I'll do, I'll quickly take a new code node, click on code. So now I'm trying to show you how to use OpenAI API key. For that, what you need, again, like similar like above, we need one OpenAI URL. Correct. So this is the OpenAI URL. In the case of URI, it is api.uron.1 slash API slash v1 URI. This is the URL there in the Uron infrastructure we are using. For OpenAI, URL will be different. The URL is api.openai.com. So where do you get these URLs? Again, simple. You have to go to uh, platform.openai.com. You can click API reference. There you can get every details about this platform, be it URL, be it authorization keys, or what kind of data you have to pass. Right. So we have declared URL, and then what we have to do, we have to define our API key. Right. In the case of URI also we have done the same thing. We have defined API key. So let me do one thing. I will quickly declare one variable API underscore key. So this is going to be my variable, and this key holds my OpenAI API key. So just now I have copy and pasted over here. I'm again copying it and then keeping it inside my API key. All right. So what we have to do next, we have to define headers, right? Like, just define headers, and headers contains same thing how this headers we declared. We just copy it and then paste it over here. Authorization, instead of bearer URI, this URI, what we have to do, we have to pass this API key. So what I'll do, I'll quickly delete this. This is the Uron API key, right? So I'll quickly delete it, and I'll declare f string because we have declared as a variable. Type f and then bearer space you need to give, and then give your variable name, which is API underscore key. Right. Then close the quotations. Right. Declared URL, we have declared API key, and as well as we have declared header. Now what we have to declare? We have to declare a payload, right? So in above case also we have declared the payload. So let me quickly declare the payroll. So and I'm storing it in a variable called data. So you can observe that this is the payload Uron platform is expecting, and this is the payload OpenAI platform is expecting. So this temperature max tokens is common for everywhere. So if you observe closely, both are expecting same. In this case, we are using role user and content, right? So you can also send role system and then content. So what is this role user? What is this role system? We will discuss going further. For now, you just remember this is the message we are going to pass. Now, this time what I am checking with the model, I am asking what is the capital city of India, right? I have declared my payload as well. Now what I have to do, I have to call this model. So it is similar like above. Let me quickly copy this, copy it, and then paste it. Now request.post, URL is this URL. You can give different variable name for now, because anyway this URL will be override once I execute this code block. So I'm giving as it is URL. Correct. Then headers, I am passing same headers, and JSON above we are passing payload, because our variable name above is payload. That's why we are passing payload. But in this case, we have to pass data. Correct. Copy it and then paste it. So once you done this, you will get the response. Correct. So it will be stored inside a response. Let me do one thing. Let me store it in another variable called output. Right. Output is equals to response dot. Let me convert it into JSON. All right. So once you convert it into JSON, and then you can print the output. Let me print my output and click on execute. Once you click on execute, you can see that it has generated the output. So if you see that in a similar structure, it has been generated. It given prompt tokens. This time prompt tokens are more, because my question is having system role as well as user role. That's why prompt tokens become 25, and completion tokens are only 9. Why? Because model given a simple output. You can see that the capital city of India is New Delhi. So it is very simple and a plain response. That's why my output tokens are very less, and my total tokens are this 34. So let me do one thing. So you now you understood, right, how we can call any model through API. So till now, if you observe, we haven't used any LangChain framework. Correct. So now what I'll do, I will quickly install LangChain library and see how this model call, how simple this model call is in LangChain framework. So for that, what I need to do, I have to quickly install a LangChain framework. uh, just type pip install LangChain and then LangChain OpenAI. Why LangChain OpenAI? Because I am going to interact with OpenAI models. That's why I am selecting LangChain OpenAI library as well. Then python.env. So I am creating a .env file, and I am going to load that file into our program. So that's why I'm using python.env library as well. Just hit enter. So it will take time, and it will install your LangChain library, LangChain OpenAI library, and as well as .env library. Right. So let it install completely. Then we can see how to import LangChain in our program, and then do our first LLM call using LangChain with OpenAI model. All right. So let it install. Meanwhile, what I'll do, I will go to my env file. So this is my uran OpenAI platform key. So what I have to do, I have to variable name should be OpenAI underscore API underscore key. So remember, this name should be same. Otherwise your OpenAI model may not work, because in their library they will be accessing this API key through this OpenAI underscore API underscore key value. So if you don't declare with the same name, then there will be a conflict, and it will give you the error. Right. Just save this environment file. Now what I'll do, I'll quickly create a new file, and I will give the name as a lang llm dot ipynb, right? So take the code node. So what you have to do first is, first you have to import your environment file. So for that, what we have to do, we have to do from dot env import load underscore dot env, so which will load our environment file into our program. So that what next, what we have to do, we have to call this method. Let me call this quickly, load dot env. So what these two lines does, whatever the keys we have declared in dot env file will be available throughout our program, because it is loading these environment variables, correct? All right. So just execute this. You can see that it is asking the Python environment. Let me select same Python environment and then click execute. Once you click on execute, it is taking a kernel. This time it should not just now. So now we have loaded successful. In case if you want to see whether our API keys are loaded successfully or not, what you have to do, you have to import OS, and then you can print that, print OS dot get environment, and then inside you have to pass the key, which key you want to get, so that you can cross verify that this key has been successfully loaded into environment variables, right? Just hit enter. Now you can see that escape 0 it, so same value has been loaded into our program, right? So we have successfully imported our environment key into our program. Now what is our next step? Our next step is going to be import a LangChain OpenAI library, right? So for that, what you have to do, let me take another code module. This time what I'll do, I'll import from LangChain underscore OpenAI. Since we are interacting with OpenAI models, you have to import a chart model from LangChain underscore OpenAI library, right? Import chart OpenAI. As soon as you type, it will give you auto suggestions, right? What we have done, from LangChain OpenAI library, we have imported chart OpenAI. Now what we have to do, we have to create one model object using chart OpenAI. So let me do quickly. What I'll take a variable. Let me take model is equals to. So you have to create a model using chart OpenAI, right? Using this class, you have to create the object. So what I'll do, I'll quickly add chart OpenAI. So in, as soon as you created a variable, model variable, then this model will be available throughout the program. With using this model, you can interact with uh, by default model in OpenAI ecosystem, which is 3.5 turbo. In case if, since OpenAI is having several models in their ecosystem, what you can do, you can specify which model you want to be interacted. So in the previous example, you can see which model we have used, model parameter we have passed, and we have used GPT 3.5 turbo. In case if you don't pass anything, by default it will select one model. So for now, what I will do, I will quickly pass same model. How you will get this model IDs? You can simply go to OpenAI platforms, and then you can see their model list, where you can get this model IDs, right? Or you can simply Google it, or you can ask it in chat GPT. It will give you all the list of models available in OpenAI ecosystem, right? So now what I'll do, I'll quickly pass one variable which is called model, and then paste it, right? Now what we are doing with GPT 3.5 turbo model, we have generated an object called model. All right. So once this is done, what you can do, you have to call this model, right? You have to call this model because now model is available. If you have to pass some input to this model, so that this model will this model object will interact with GPT 3.5 turbo and will give you the output, right? So how you call this model object? You can call this model object. Let me execute it first, so that model variable will be available for me. All right. Now what I have to do, with model object reference, I have to call a function called invoke. Which function? It is invoke function. So you, in LangChain ecosystem, invoke is a function you will use everywhere with models, with prompt templates. uh, so when you are calling any chains, you need to use invoke method as well. So invoke method is a very essential method in LangChain ecosystem. So whatever the object you created in LangChain ecosystem, you have to call that object using invoke method, right? All right. Now what I have to do, in the expects one input, so which is nothing but a prompt or input text. So what I'll do, I'll quickly pass one input. What I'll ask, I'll pass as write a poem about cricket. All right. Then this will give you the response. That response, I am trying to store it in response variable. Now, what I have done, I have created a model and then I have invoked that model using invoke method, and I am storing that response into response variable. Just click on execute now. All right, this has been executed. So take the new code node and then print the response. Hit enter. Now you can see that in fields of green, the players stand, bats in hand, with skill so grand. So some poem it has been generated. If you observe carefully, we have called our model in just 2 lines. Earlier example you can see, if you want to call any model through plain request library, you have to write these many lines of code, whereas in LangChain it's simply done in 2 lines of code. So that is what any framework gives you, this flexibility. It will it will reduce a lot of complex things into a simple things, where you can, it will be helpful, it will save your time as well as it will save your development time as well. Now if you observe closely, and this is also giving a lot of things like usage input tokens, output tokens. Let me do one thing. If I don't want to see anything, I just want to see only the output. That output is stored inside content, correct? Now what I'll do, I will quickly print only content, the response dot content, and execute this. Now you can see your poem. In fields of green, the players stand, bats in hand, with skill go hand, the sound of leather and will. So a beautiful poem has been generated. Right now, we have successfully tested a GPT 3.5 turbo model. Correct. Now, what we will do, we will try to explore what kind of parameters this chart OpenAI accepts, right? So you can see that there are n number of options are available: name, cache, verbose, callbacks, metadata. So all these things you can pass it. So for now we will do one thing, we will pass whatever the required no mostly frequently used parameters. One such parameter is temperature. Temperature is equals to 0. So as we have discussed earlier, temperature refers to randomness in the answer. So what I'll quickly do one thing. I'll put all these code blocks into a single code block so that it will be easy for executing, and then print response dot content. So this we don't need right now. Let me minimize it. Yeah, response dot content. So these three lines only we are using for interacting with any model in the OpenAI ecosystem, right? Let me quickly execute it. So you can see that earlier also we have generated same output. Now also I am generating same output. The reason, we are passing temperature 0. It means we are passing randomness as 0. So we are expecting identical output every time from this model. So now I'll show you, if I change this temperature, your output also will change. It means it will try to generate a random poem instead of same poem every time. Now let me do one thing. Let me quickly add it a 1 or a 1.2 higher side, and then click on enter. Just remember this output. This output you may not get this time, right? You can see that in the last fields where the sun shine bright, the sound of leather. So it will add more creativity to the model, and you will get a random outputs every time. Again you execute, again you don't get similar output. This time you will get again new output, right? And then click again. Right. So every time you click, you will get a random answers. But in the case of zero temperature, it will not happen. Every time you will get the same output. All right. So I hope everyone cleared about this temperature parameter. We will explore one more parameter, which is max tokens. Max underscore tokens. So you can see that every time you are generating a poem, it is generating a lengthy poems. Correct. So if you calculate this, it may be, uh, you can see that model output tokens over here. Let me show you. Total tokens it has taken 172. In that, output tokens it has taken 160. So your token cost is increasing when it gives the more lengthy output. That output you can reduce using max tokens. Let's say you want an output within 100 tokens, you can specify it as a max tokens 100, so that this time it won't give you this much lengthy output. It will try to restrict the output within 100 tokens. Let me execute and show you quickly. Right, you can see that uh, it got cut in between because it has already crossed 100 tokens. That's why it got cut. So if you want lengthy outputs, you can increase your max tokens to 1000 or 2000, 5000, however number you want, right? I hope max tokens is cleared for everyone. Then another parameter will be max underscore retrace. What does this mean, max underscore retrace? Let's say you are invoking this model. For some reason, generally it won't happen, but for some reason your OpenAI model is not able to generate output, or OpenAI server is down for a fraction of seconds, or fraction of seconds. In that case, what will happen? You won't get any output from the model. So in that case, for safer side, what you will do, you will write max retries. It means in case if it fails first time, it will try to connect to the model second time. If it fails also, it will try to connect third time. So whatever the number you refer here, those many times it will try to call that model and try to get the output. If it fails first time, if it got success first time, then it won't look at max retries parameter at all, right? All right. So the next parameter will be streaming is available, which means So currently, if you observe closely, let me do one thing. Let me remove max tokens. This time I need to see lengthy output, and temperature also I will delete to just to showcase a streaming thing. All right, click on enter. You can see that your full output has been loaded at one shot. Correct. Have you observed closely? All your output has loaded at one shot. It means model, whenever you are invoking a model, your API request will wait till model completes its generation, full output generation, and then it will give you the output. Correct. So let's say you are using any chart system, or if you go to any URI API or any chart API, you just ask the same question and observe how the output will be, then you will understand what is streaming, right? So click on enter, and you can see that there is one by one line has been added, which means in this case streaming is enabled. So whatever the model generated output at that particular time, it will try to pass you, and you are displaying that. What is the use of this? Let's say you are expecting a lengthy blocks from the model. Instead of waiting full time to generation, model start giving some output, so that you can display in your chart system. User can start reading it, and he will not feel the latency. Correct. So I hope streaming is clear. So let us implement that and see in practical. So what I have to do for this, I need to quickly do one thing. What I have to do, I have to import a streaming handler. For that, what you need to do, just import this streaming std out callback handler from langchain underscore core. Earlier we have imported chart OpenAI to interact with OpenAI models. Chart OpenAI we have imported from langchain underscore OpenAI. This time we want to see the streaming output. For that we are importing streaming std out callback handler from langchain underscore core dot callbacks dot streaming std out. So once you have imported this, what you have to do, you have to create that streaming std output callback handler object. So what I will do, I will quickly create one object called handler, and I'll take streaming output callback handler. All right. So this will create my handler object. Now what I have to do here, simply I have to pass stream is true. Streaming is true. Just type streaming and enable it as a true. By default output at one shot. Right. Now what we are making, we are making streaming true, so that we can see that streaming output from the model. Copy it. After that, what you have to do, you have to pass your callback. So whatever callback handler you have created, that handler you have to pass here inside a callback parameter. Just pass a callback is equals to, it expects an array of handlers, so pass it handler. That's it. Select it. Once this is done, now you observe closely. I'm going to execute this. So it is giving some warning. No, it is giving some error. So let me do one thing. What is the error? It is model. All right. I think I need to install langchain underscore core. Earlier I haven't installed. What I'll do, if you see the error closely, it will tell. You can see that there is a clear error in line 7, right? Just give me a second. Got an unexpected. No, I have already installed. The error says unexpected keyword argument callback. So might be some spelling mistake. Let me see what it is. Callback. Okay. So it is not callback. It is callbacks because it is expecting a multiple callback handlers in array. So this parameter name is callbacks, not callback. Okay. All right. So I have cleared the error and then I'm trying to execute again. And see this time our output is not at one shot, it is streaming. Just execute again and then you can observe clearly it is streaming the output instead of giving output at one shot, right? So these are the commonly used parameters inside a model creation. So this process is called model creation with options, right? And then this step is called model invoking. Then we are printing the result. All right. So I hope everyone is cleared about this chart OpenAI class, how to use it, and how to pass some model parameters, how to pass temperature parameter, how to pass max retries, how to pass streaming, and also how to pass a max token parameter inside chart OpenAI model. So we have successfully generated output using OpenAI model. Right now, according to our initial discussion, now we are going to see same thing with the Gemini models. So for that, what I have to do, just click on this. So however, we have installed OpenAI library earlier, right? This time we are going to install Gemini library as well. Got it? So you can see that LangChain OpenAI library we have installed. So now what we have to do, we have to install LangChain underscore Google underscore GenAI. So how we know all these things? You can simply go to LangChain document, click on LangChain document, and here you can find out what are the keys we need to use inside environment, right? What are the libraries we need to use, everything mentioned over inside this document. So if you go through the document once, you will get to know all these things in detail. All right. All right. So now what I'll do, I will quickly install my Google Gemini library. So just enter pip install langchain hyphen. This time it is not going to be OpenAI. It is going to be Google underscore GenAI. Langchain Google Gen AI. So in case if you have doubt, you just copy this, go to Google and hit enter. So you can see that this is the package name LangChain minus Google minus GenAI. Correct. So let me click enter. So this will install a Google package inside our program. So earlier we have installed OpenAI package so that we can interact with OpenAI models. Now we are installing uh, Google library so that we can interact with all Google models. So for that, what we need, we have created OpenAI API key, right? Now this time we are going to create a Gemini API key or Google API key. For that, what we have to do, you can simply go to your browser, just search for Google AI Studio. It requires your Google account credentials. Once you log in with your Google credentials, it will show you the option create the Gemini API key. So just click on this. API key. So you can see that Gemini API in Google AI Studio. Just click on that, and then so this is the welcome. This just click enter and then continue. Click on continue. So once you click on continue, what you have to do, you have to dashboard, go to dashboard. Then you can see that API keys list over here. I have already created one API key, and you can see that it is under free to pay anything. Whereas in the case of OpenAI, you need to invest some bucks. If you go to billing section, let me show you. Just click over here in settings, and you can see over here billing section. Inside billing section, you have to do a recharge. So currently I have $7 loaded into my account. In case if you want to use OpenAI API key, it is not free. You have to add at least $5, if I am not wrong, or you can add up to you can add whatever the amount you want into your platform openai.com account, right? So trust me, this $5 or $10 are going to be very useful going forward. Don't hesitate to invest this amount. As you are learning new skills, you need to invest something, right? In the case of Gemini, there is no such rules. You go to Google AI Studio, and they will give you some free tier. You can use it. Once your free tier is over, again you have to load amount here as well. So quickly create one API key now. For that, what I have to do, I have to select create API key, and the same you have to give one key name. I'll give lang tutorial. You can select any project. By default, I am selecting default Gemini project and click on create key. All right. So this is the key we have generated now. If I'm not wrong, I think this is the one. Just click over here. Uh, so this is my key. Click over here, and you can see that this is my API key. Copy it, and then go to your environment file. So this time what you have to do, you however how you used OpenAI API key over here, similarly you have to use Google underscore API underscore key here. All right. So just remember that you need to use same API keys, otherwise your model will give you error, right? So I will show you that as well. Let me show Google, all caps, Google underscore API underscore key. API underscore key is equals to whatever the key we have copied, I am pasting over here. Then click on save. Once you click on save, come back here. So I'll show you, right, what will happen if these keys are wrong. Let me say I added extra one key over here. Just copy it and go to your program lang llm. This time it is OpenAI key 1, right? So you can see that the same key is loaded, but this time key name is OpenAI API key 1. And then you try to execute your model call. So our model call is over here. Just so this library is installed. So I'm going to minimize it, or I'll close it and then hit enter. So this time, uh, some error. Give me a second. Let me see. No, I think I have to restart my this one environment file. I have copied, and then it should not give this output ultimately if it is OpenAI API key. Otherwise, it is already loading from temp files. Quickly, I'll do one thing. I'll close and open so that you can load OpenAPI key one and as well as Google API key. Right. So go to the file. I'll see any restart option is available, or I can simply exit and then search for Visual Studio code. Signal setup has detected that setup is currently running. Just click on OK. Okay to continue. Giving error. Let me open again. It was not closed properly last time. So the Gemini API key has been created successfully. I'm trying to access this Gemini API key. So still it gives error. Then we'll see this experiment in later videos. We will continue with our interacting. So give us a second. For some reason, it has not opening. All right, it is going to open. So our keys are same, nothing got changed. This files has to be loaded. Let it load. All right, so it has been loaded, and let me quickly try to execute. Still, it is under detecting kernels. Oh, I shouldn't have restarted. It's fine, no problem. Already it has detected the Python 3.10, which is Lang tutorial kernel. Fine. So quickly execute this. This time we should not see this output. Then we can successfully concluded that our environment file is updated successfully. It is taking time. All right, you can see that it has printed none, which means OpenAI API key is not exist in environment file. It is now OpenAI underscore API underscore key one. Now what I'll do, I'll add a key one and I will try to execute this. So it has printed this key. So now what we are trying to do, we are trying to prove that we have to be given OpenAI underscore API underscore key here. Other than this, if you add anything or if you modify this key name, then your model is not going to generate the output. That is what I'm going to prove now. Let me click execute. Now you should get enter. You should get some error saying that API key is wrong or unauthorized access to the mode. All right. So you can see that there is a OpenAI error. and error says, you can see that API key error. It is clearly telling that the API key client option must set either by passing API underscore key to the client or by setting environment variable OpenAI underscore API underscore key. So by seeing this error, you can clearly uh, conclude that you need to give a variable environment file variable name as a OpenAI underscore API underscore key. All right. So now what we'll do, let us quickly interact with Gemini models. So let me click on code. Um, no, I want a downside over here. All right. So upside, what we have done, we have imported LangChain OpenAI, we have imported Chart OpenAI, right? So this time we are not going to import Chart OpenAI. This time we are going to import um Chart Google Generative AI from Google underscore GenAI library, right? So for that, quickly let me import this. What we have to do, from LangChain underscore Google underscore GenAI. Right. Earlier it was LangChain underscore OpenAI. Now it was Google underscore GenAI. Select it and then import the class generative. It is chart generative model. You can see that chart Google generative AI. So what has been changed? Nothing has been changed. Only our import has been changed from OpenAI to generative AI. Now what we have to do? We have to again create one Gemini model. So for that, what I'll do, I'll quickly take a new model variable and I will create a new model, this time with chart Google generative AI class. Select and give the model. So whatever the parameters your chart OpenAI is expecting, same parameter your uh, this current class also expect. So that is the beauty of a LangChain framework. Just imagine, we have seen this is how you have to call LLMs, correct, with using API keys. It is very messy, first of all, and second, let's say you have built one agent or any workflow, and in later stages you might be having multiple LLM calls in your workflow or agent flow. In the later stages, you feel that this model is not performing up to the mark, and you want to change the model. So in that case, you have to change entire code base whatever you have used, because each model follows different rules, right? But if you use LangChain framework, what it is giving the advantage, you just within 2 lines of code, all your model calls will be changed automatically to the new model, correct? So this is how we need to use a framework. So right, let me add Google models. So there are several Google models are available over here. So what I will do, I will quickly add a Gemini 2.5 flash or 2.5 pro model. So you have to keep the spelling as it is. Model is equals to Gemini 2.5 Flash. Right. All right. Once we have declared the model, what we have done in the earlier, we have invoked that model and then we are printing the result. So we will do the same thing. Just copy it, go back to your code block and then paste. What has been changed? If you observe closely, your import class has changed and your model has been changed. Rest everything is same. So this is the advantages of using a framework. Not only LangChain, multiple frameworks gives you the same advantage, right? So now you can pass all parameters, whatever parameters, anyway, temperature, max tokens, max retries. So we have already seen earlier those parameters. So now I am not going to show you those parameters. So just click on execute and you can see your Gemini 2.5 flash output this time, right? You can see the output. On emerald fields, beneath the summer sky where willow waits. So this is the generated output by your Gemini models. And if you want stream, again you have to follow the same thing. You need to import a streaming STD output call handler, and then you have to enable streaming true, and then you have to pass callbacks. That handler you have to pass to the callbacks parameter. Then it will start streaming the output. I hope guys everyone is clear with this. Let me quickly see the comments. Someone has commented. Can we use a higher version? बैकग्राउंड में पार्टी चल रहा है. So let me quickly answer some questions. Please allow me a moment. Someone commented saying that in a background some party is happening. No, it's not a party. It is outside some function is happening. In my starting of the video, I have already told you due to that this disturbance. Uh, I hope today and tomorrow this will continue. From next week onwards, this is not going to happen. So some one more question saying that can we use a higher version? Of course, you can use the higher version. It will absolutely works fine. All right, guys. So now what we will do? We will quickly go to our today's agenda and then see what we have covered, what is the pending. So LangChain installation we have covered, API key generation we have covered for Yuri, OpenAI, Gemini, and Hugging Face is pending. Interacting with LLMs, yes. So we have seen interacting with closed source or proprietary models till now. Right. So let me clear what is closed source or proprietary models and what is open source models. So generally models are two types in general. One is open source model and one more is closed source model. So open source model means that model is available publicly so that you can host that model into your uh, in your infrastructure, and then you can talk with those LLMs. So generally these LLMs are called open source LLMs because those are openly available. Coming to the closed source models, closed source are models are hosted by third parties like OpenAI or Gemini, and they will provide you API key to access their models. So technically, if you see closed source models, you cannot inference in your own infrastructure, whereas open source model you can inference in your own infrastructure. Again, open source, there is some more debate. It is open source model or open weight model. So the difference is open source model means everything is available. Everything in the sense the model files are available. The training data used for the model will be available, and the code for that model will be also available. In that case, it is called truly open source model. For some models, you can only get the model file. You don't know what data has been trained to those models. In that case, that model will called as a uh, open weight model, since only model is available. Then closed source or proprietary models we have already discussed. Now what we will do, we will quickly create a Hugging Face account, and we will use Hugging Face API for interacting with open source models, right? All right. So go to Hugging Face. If you don't have any account in the Hugging Face, you just go and create one account inside Hugging Face. So what is the use of Hugging Face? In the Hugging Face you can see that n number of open source models are available. You can literally take any model from here freely and then inference in your own infrastructure. So this is the advantage. And apart from models, they also give you free data sets and free data sets, so those data sets also you can use. So for this video, what I will do, I'll quickly open my Google Colab account, because you can see that my system is already too slow for executing these LLM calls. So now what I'm doing, I'm going to download open source model and then interact with that model in offline. So since my system configurations won't support, because this model files are more than 2 GB, 3 GB of size. So if I start doing now, it will take it will start uh, crashing my system. So that is the reason I'm not going to do it locally. I'm going to do it in Google Colab. So quickly use. I hope everyone knows about Google Colab. Google Colab is a notebook introduced by Google, which is freely available for everyone. You just need an account inside your, you just need a Google account to access your Collab. So I have already have a Collab in my another account. So let me quickly open that account. All right, search for Collab. It will give you this link. Just click on Collab link. Now, uh, let me select this file. So if you since it is already created, I am opening this file. Or what you can do, you can go to file, and then you can click on new notebook in Drive. Just click on that. Once you click on, a new Collab notebook will be opened in your browser. So remember, if you want to access the Google Colab, you need a couple of things. One is a Google account. Second one is a stable internet connection. Right. This is the plain Google Colab interface looks like. Now, what you have to do? First thing you have to do, since we are going to download open source models from the Hugging Face, you have to provide your Hugging Face token here. So how you can create Hugging Face token? For that, go to your Hugging Face. If you don't have account, create sign up. I already have account. I'm just going to log in into my account. So let me add my account over here. uh, Allow me a moment. Yes, I have logged in into my account successfully. If you don't have account, it is very simple. You have to give your email and provide the password. Straight away it will create the account, and you don't need to pay any amount for creating this account. Once you've done that, go to your profile section. Inside profile section, go to settings. Once you come to settings, there are section called access tokens. So I have already created 2 tokens. If you want to create a new token, it is going to be very simple. Click on create new token, give the token name. I am going to give lang tutorial again. So what permissions you want to give, if you don't know anything, better to give all the permissions, especially for inference and then repositories, because we are going to download these models from the repositories. Rest everything you can ignore, and then click on create token. Once you click on create token, it will create the token successfully. This token you have to copy it, and then go to your Google Colab notebook. Find out your key section. Left side you have multiple icons over here. Find out key icon, click over there, and then it will ask you hf underscore token. Give the same name, hf underscore token. Otherwise it will give you error. By default, if you give the permission, you can click on enable, or if you want to enable at runtime, you keep it disabled. At the runtime, when it is downloading any model, it will ask you the permission. All right. So now we have entered our HF token. Whatever the value, API key value you copied, you have to paste it over here. That's it. So your HF token is successful. In case you are doing it in local, there is a different way. What you have to do in the environment file, you have to, let me show you that as well. In case if you are trying in your local system, I am not going to try in my local system because my system configuration is very low, and I suggest you, if you have a high end system configuration, then only you try locally. Otherwise, better to use Google Colab. In case if you are trying locally, you have to use this key, Hugging Face Hub underscore access underscore token. All right. All right. So now go back to the collab. I'm closing this, and then what I'll do, you have to install these libraries. Earlier we have used LangChain. In case of OpenAI, we have used LangChain OpenAI library. In case of Google, we have used Google library. In case of Hugging Face, we have to use Hugging Face library. Along with that, we need a couple of more libraries, transformers and sentence transformers, which are required for model inferencing. Copy it. You no need to worry, these commands and all I will paste it. You can take it from the document. All right. Once you do that, just execute this step. Once you execute the step, it will install all required libraries. So it is going to install. And one more thing I forgot to mention. So you can see that here connected, right? Just click on there, and you can see the runtime type. I think by default Google will assign you a CPU, right? Since we are running models, if it is a GPU, it will run fastly. And for that, what we will do, right? By default Python 3 will be there. You select Python 3. In case you are working with another languages, you can select either R or Julia. So for this case, Python is sufficient, so I'll select Python. And by default CPU it is selected, right? It means Google Colab is associated with a CPU, right? So we need higher configuration system. In that case, you can select either GPU or TPU, right? So just select the GPU. It is free for certain hours. I am not sure how many hours Google is going to provide freely. After that free limit, it will not work. In that case, what you have to do, you can create a new email account and then try to access Google Colab from the new account. I think per month, 30 hours. I'm not sure, 30 hours or 35 hours. They will give you this GPU access. Just click on save. Once you change the environment, you make sure it should come as a connected, right? So every time you change runtime, whatever the biggest disadvantages is whatever the libraries you have installed earlier, everything will be cleared because you changed your runtime. So you can see the plus mark over here. In case if you have time, you can see that connected to runtime T4 GPU. All right. So since we have connected to new runtime, I need to execute these libraries again. So let it install. Once installation done, I'll take the new code block. So I think installation is done. Let me take the new code block and then paste this. All right. So what we are doing, we are constructing one pipeline, and we are using a model called tiny llama 1.1 billion chart v10. From where we got this model? It is very simple. Go to Hugging Face, click on models, and then click on text generation. Since we are using text generation models, so all these models are text generation models. So you can enter any model. In my case, I have taken tiny llama, correct? So this is the model I have taken. If you want to take different models, you can also take different models. So just click on that, and whatever the model ID over here, right? This is the repository ID of Hugging Face. You just need to copy that ID and then paste it over inside model parameter. Since it is a text generation model, I need to pass text generation. You can see over here also I have selected text generation. Once this is done, then you have to inside Hugging Face pipeline class you have to import. Earlier we were importing chart OpenAI class and Google generative AI class, right? For this Hugging Face, we have to import Hugging Face pipeline class. So once you import that pipeline class, it will accept a pipeline parameter inside that whatever the model inference model you need. That model you have to pass. Then after that, it is simple. This is the LLM underscore local is my variable. In case if you want, you can change it model or LLM, whatever it is. And then you have to call the invoke model. So this invoke model will not change. It is a same across all models. Either it is closed source model or open source model. So this time my question is how to cook chicken curry, and let me execute and see whether it will give the output or not. Remember, we are going to get an output from tiny llama 1.1 billion parameter. It means in case of ChatGPT 3.5 turbo, it has I think 175 billion parameter model. It means it has been trained with a huge data set. You can see that HF token, it is asking the access, so I need to provide grant access. So whereas Tiny Llama has only 1.1 billion parameters, which means the output, kind of output you get from the both models, you cannot compare because this is a small model and doesn't train with huge data set like ChatGPTs or Geminis. So you can see that the model file size is 2.20 GB, right? So it started inferencing now. So you can see how to cook chicken curry is my question, and it is asking me a question back saying that can you provide me with the recipe for making me chicken curry. So as I discussed just now, you cannot expect an output like a GPT models or Gemini models, because it is a tiny model. So what I'll do, I'll change and I'll ask a generic question. Let me ask, what is the capital city of India? Now, if you execute again, you can see that 2.20 GB of model file has been downloaded. This time it will not download, it will keep it in cache, and directly it will start executing and give you the output, right? You can see that what is the capital city of India, and answer is Delhi is the capital city of India. With this, we can successfully conclude that we have downloaded a tiny llama model with 1.1 billion parameter and successfully inferenced in our own system. So if it is your local system, you no need internet from now onwards, because the model file has been downloaded to your local system. From there, it will start executing and give you the output. So let me test with the earlier question. I'll do Control Z and see this time whether it will give the proper output or not. So remember, I'm using GPU. Still, it is taking this much time, and you can assume that if you use any CPUs, it may take much more time for downloading also, and as well as for inferencing as well. So let it give the output. Just wait for a couple of seconds, or I will kill and execute one more time. So it is connected to T4 runtime. For some reason, it is not taking so much time. I'll do quickly one thing. I'll stop and then I'll try. It has given the output. I have executed again. It's fine. Let it take time. So once this is done, what we will do, we have seen how to interact with a text generation models. Yeah. So this time you can see how to cook chicken curry is my question. Then this is the answer. If you love chicken curry, then you will love this chicken curry recipe. So it has given full recipe, what ingredients are required, and what are the instructions need to be followed to cook chicken curry. Isn't it amazing? Because see, in the earlier cases, we are we are paying amount for GPT models. Here we no need to pay. We no need to pay any single rupee, and still you can get the quality output. So if you want better quality, instead of 1.1 billion parameter, you can go for 7 billion parameter. Again, it is subject to what kind of system configurations you have. All right. So I hope everyone is clear with this part. Now what we will do, till now we have seen how to interact with text generation models, right? So there is another kind of models which are called embedding models. We will see how to interact with the embedding models. What is embedding model? What is this embeddings? You no need to worry about. when we are when we discuss about RAG based applications, retrieval augmented generation applications, I'm going to cover in depth embeddings, what are vectors, what are embedding models, and all. For now, just to see how to interact with embedding models, because this session this session agenda is only to interact with models. Either it might be text generation model or embedding model. It might be open source model or closed source model. So for in the case of text generation models, we have seen open source as well as closed source. Now what we will do, uh, for embedding models, we will see how to interact with closed source embedding models, and then we will see how to interact with open source embedding models, and then we will conclude this session. All right. So for that, what I'll do, I'll quickly go to my Visual Studio Code, and then I'll create a new file. So click on new file. This time, since I'm talking with embedding models, I will do my file name is lang embedding dot ipyn. You can give any name, no problem. Just to take the code block. So I think this time I need OpenAI, since I'm going to use OpenAI embedding models. Let me save and then see whether I will get this API key or not. Otherwise, I need to restart my system. Okay, it is giving the output. Or we can do one thing, we can interact with Gemini model as well, right? So quickly I'll see one thing, I'll do one thing. What we have to do, we have created this file and we have to do imports. Imports is not going to be changed. Import, what we need to import, we need to import environ.env, import.env, sorry, from .env import, you need to import load underscore .env. Once you import, if you want to check your API key exists or not, you simply import OS as well, and then you can load your .environment file. So this step is common there also, here also, right? Once you done this, if you want to see your keys, you can simply enter print os dot get env of, you have to pass your key name whatever you used in .env file, right? So let me copy it and then paste it over here and then execute. So our since it is a new file, it is asking me again to select the kernel. I am going to give lang tutorial again. All right. So my OpenAI API key has successfully loaded. So now what we have to do, we have to interact with OpenAI model. So for OpenAI embedding model, this time it is not chart OpenAI, right? So for that, what I need to do, go to code again from OpenAI. LangChain underscore OpenAI import. This time I am not going to import chart OpenAI model because it is a text generation model, right? So this time I am going to generate embeddings. So what is embeddings? A quick recap I will give you. No need to worry about what this embeddings new term and all. We will discuss in detail when we are taking a RAG based application. When we are building RAG based applications, there I will explain clearly embeddings. The quick difference I'll tell you. In case of chart OpenAI model, we are passing text as an input to the LLM, and we are expecting text as an output from the model. In the case of embedding model, we will pass text and we will get equivalent vector equivalent vectors in the form of array. Which means vector means we are going to get a floating number of arrays. So at present, you remember like this. For embedding models, we need to pass text as an input, and then we will get floating numbers as an array as a output. So for that, what you need to do, you have to import OpenAI embeddings. All right. So once you import this, again same. You need to create a model. Since that is text generation model, I have taken name as a model. This time, what I will do, I will take embedding model as my variable name. Once you take this, what you have to pass, you have to pass OpenAI embeddings. If you don't pass model, by default it will take some model. So better you pass one model. That model I am going to pass text embedding 3 small. Don't confuse where I am getting these models. You can simply go to the chat GPT or any Google. You simply search like give me OpenAI. Since we are using embedding models, you can ask embedding models. Just hit enter. So you can see that they have several models: text embedding 3 large, text embedding 3 small, text embedding ADA 002, right? So in this case, what I am using text embedding 3 small. So in case if what to pass, if you have any doubt, you simply go to ChatGPT or go to Google and search it, or go to LangChain document or OpenAI document. There also you can find the things. All right. Okay, so I have created the model. After creating model, what I have to do, I have to call this model using embed underscore query method, right? So now I'll do one thing. I'll quickly call this model, embedding model dot. So for embeddings, there is no invoke method available. You have to use embed underscore query method. Embed underscore query. So there are two mostly widely used methods: embed underscore documents and embed underscore query. The simple difference is embed underscore query, we will pass a single sentence or single value. In the case of embedding documents, we will pass multiple documents. Don't worry, we will see both the methods in practical. So first, let me show you what is embed query does, and then I'll show you embed underscore documents as well. So click on embed query, and this embed query accepts some text. So what I will do, I will quickly pass hello world as my text. Now, what we have to do, we have to store this result inside some variable. That variable I am going to call as a vector. You can give any name, it's up to you. I'm going to give vector as my output variable name. Just print it vector, so that you will get the clear idea what this vector contains, and then execute this. Once you execute this, you will get the output array of floating numbers. So see, you can see that minus 0.00, all these are floating numbers. So there are several numbers are available. Let me do one thing. Let me print the length of this array. Print length of vector. All right. So instead of here, I will take separate code node and then print. Otherwise, it will execute again. All right. So you can see that the length of this vector is 1536. So now you might have got a question saying that every model gives 1536 length vectors. The answer is no. It depends on model implementation, how the model is implemented. uh, that length you are going to get as an output. In the case of embedding 3 small, it is 1536. In the case of another model, it might be 786, or it might be 3082, or it might be any number. It completely depends on model implementation. All right. So now we have seen embed query. Quickly we will see embed documents as well. For that, what I'll do, uh, already my embedding model is there. So what I'll do, I'll take a new code node. I have taken new code node. Now this time what I will do, I'll take the same embedding model. If you want, you can create a new embedding model as well. Embedding model dot. This time I'm not going to call embed query. I'm going to call embed documents. Right. So once you all pass the embed documents, what you need to do, you need to pass a list of, you can see over here, list of strings you have to pass. Earlier case, if you see, it is clearly telling that you need to pass string as an input. In this case, you need to pass a list of strings as an input. If you want, you can also pass chunk size. We will see how to pass all these things in later stage. Right now, what I will do, I will quickly create a list of sentences, and then I will pass to this method. So I will do one thing. I will click my. I'll create one variable. My underscore list is equals to. I'll quickly pass. I am Naresh, and then one more sentence is going to be, I am from Uran. I'll give one more sentence as well. You can give as many as you want. I am from Bangalore. So some random sentences I have given. Now this my list I have to pass to my embedding models. So once it comes, you have to store it in a variable. I'm taking this time vectors as my variable because we are going to get multiple vectors. So for one string, we got one vector, correct? Now we are passing three strings, so it will return you three vectors. So in case if you have a doubt, let me print it. What I'll do, print vectors, and then print length of vectors. Just allow me a moment. Yeah, sorry for the disturbance. Okay, so now we are checking length of vectors. Since we are passing three sentences, the length of vectors we are going to be three, right? So just let me execute this code block. So it will print vectors as well as it will print length of vectors. So just give me a moment. Vectors. Okay. So it is my bad spelling mistake. So I have to give vectors everywhere. Let me do one thing. Vectors and then vectors. All right. Execute this. Now you can see this print length of vectors is going to be 3, and then you are getting 3 arrays inside an array, right? So if you want to see a single array, what you can do, take a new code block and then print print length of vectors. You can print length of vectors of 0, right? So it is going to be length of first vector. So the first vector length is going to be 15, 36, right? So all vectors will be in similar size since we are using same model, which always gives you output as a 15, 36 dimension array by default. All right, so we have successfully created embeddings using OpenAI embedding models, and next we will do the same thing with Gemini models as well. All right, so let me quickly take a new code block, and then this time I am going to import from LangChain underscore Google GenAI. Why Google GenAI? Because this time I am going to use Google models. That's why I have to select from LangChain underscore Google underscore GenAI. Then import. I'm not going to select chart model again. We have to select Google generative AI embeddings model, right? In case of chart model, you have to select chart Google generative AI model, which is a traditional LLM call where you pass text as an input, text as an output. But in this case, we are passing text as input, and we are expecting embeddings as an output. So for that, what you have to import? You have to import Google generative AI embeddings. So quickly you import. Once you import, so you no need to call load and all, because these API keys are already available. In case you have a doubt, you can also copy and paste it for cross verification. Instead of OpenAI API key, you can copy this Google API key and then paste it, execute it. It should print your Google API key 5EW, which is also exist in my environment file, right? All right. So we have imported this class. Now we have to create a Google generative AI embeddings model. Correct. So let me take a new code block. Now what I'll do, I will quickly do one thing. I will create a Google EMB model. All right. So I have to take this class. Inside you have to pass again model parameter. What model we are going to pass this time? This time we are going to pass Gemini embedding 001, right? So select the model is equals to Google Gemini embedding 001. Again, how I got this model embedding model ID? You go to any documentation, or you can search it in Google or ChatGPT, which will give you these models. All right, all right. So now once we done this, we need to call this Google embedding model using either uh, earlier we have seen, right? There are two methods. First method is embed query, and second method is embed underscore document. So we will see only one example because it is going to be similar for both the case. So what I'll do, I'll quickly select Google embedding model dot embed underscore query, where I need to pass one sentence. So I'll just pass I am from Uran, and this model will give you output. That output I'm going to store G vector, which stands for Google vector, and then print Google vector. Also I am going to print the length of this Google vector, length of Google vector. Just click on execute. There is some error. Give me some moment. Google embedding query print. So some error inside length. Print G vector length of. Let me remove this line and try to execute whether it will give embeddings or not. We'll see. Just allow me a moment. Runtime warning. There is some error. Just wait a second. Let me execute again. No, it is giving same error again and again. I think we need to await. So let me copy this and ask ChatGPT and see. Allow me a moment. I'll try to solve this error. So it is telling to use await. Let me use or import a single. So let me try with await and see whether it gives the output. Enter. Yeah, this time you have got the output, and you can also print the length. Just print length of G vector. This is my variable name, and then execute it. So you can see that it is giving 3072 as a length of this vector. Earlier it was 1536 in the case of OpenAI embedding models. Similarly, you can try by passing using embed underscore documents by passing a list of documents. All right. All right, guys. So I think we have successfully finished our session for today. Whatever we have discussed in the start of the session, we have successfully covered LangChain installation. We have successfully covered API key generation. We have successfully created Yuri, OpenAI, Gemini, and Hugging Face you know API keys, and we have successfully interacted with closed source text generation models and closed source embedding models, and also we have successfully seen closed source embedding models and uh, open source embedding models and closed source embedding models, and uh, we haven't tested in Google Colab, where we can download the embedding model in our local system and then try to generate the embeddings. So quickly do that, and then we'll wind up this session. So for that, what I'll do, I'll go and create a new Google Colab file. So let me take a new notebook in Drive. You can give all right. Wait for some time. Yeah. So if in case if you want to give any name, you can give a name here. I will give embedding test.ipynb. Now what I have to do, I have to install some libraries. Before that, what I'll do, I will change my runtime to T4 GPU, and then click on save. Click on connect. It will connect to your T4 GPU. So too many sessions it is giving. Get Let me close all the sessions and then try to connect. So I think it will only allow one session at a time. So since okay, let me do one thing. Let me connect it to another. I think I have to close. I don't know. Mm, Change runtime type to this one and try. We'll see whether it will connect or not. Yeah, it has been connected to TPU. Then I'm going to install required libraries, which are LangChain Hugging Face, whatever we have installed earlier. Same libraries I'm going to install again. Once you install that, so it has successfully installed. Take a new code block and then try to download this sentence transformer all mini v6 model. This is the repository ID in Hugging Face. You simply go to Hugging Face and search for the model. You can get this model. So this model I am going to inference in my Google Colab and using this. So this is the example code also they have provided. Just copy paste this code straight away. It will work. All right. So come to Google Colab. So three documents again I am passing. I am Naresh Kumar. Bangalore is the capital of Karnataka. Vizag is the capital of Andhra. So these are the sentences I am passing, and I am expecting uh, obviously three vectors from this model. So which model we are using? We are using all mini lm l6 v2, and also we can see what is the vector length it is going to produce, right? Just execute this code. If I am not wrong, it will give you a 384 dimension vector. Since it is a small model, I think that is the vector length we are going to get. I am not sure what is the length it is going to give. Just wait for some more time. It is taking time. Yeah, and now it is trying to download the model from our Hugging Face. So that's why it is asking the access. Just give one grant access. See, once you enter your Hugging Face token, right? So by default, it will apply to all your Google collabs. You no need to worry about that. You have to set only once. So now the model has been downloaded successfully, and you can see that 3 and 384 are my outputs. What I am printing? I am printing how many vector lengths I am getting and what is the individual vector length. In case if you want to see the vectors, what you can see, you can just print uh, vectors, right? Execute again. All right. Now this time you can see model has not downloaded again because it will already download and keep the file inside cache. In case if you are running in your local system, it will keep the model file in your C drive, right? By default. If you want, you can change the file location as well. Now you can see these are the embeddings we are getting from this model. And what is the length? Since we are passing three sentences, I am getting three embeddings. Each embedding length will be 384. So by this, we can conclude that we have successfully interacted with embedding models and as well as text generation models, right? So that's it, guys. This is the target, or this is the target for today. I think we have successfully accomplished that. So in case if you come up with tomorrow, I recommend either practice these things practice these things, because llm call, it is important in any agent framework, be it a langchain, langgraph, or n8n. This procedure is going to be same, right? Syntax might change, concept wise it is going to be same. So I suggest everyone go through this lecture one more time, practice it, and come back for the tomorrow's session. And that's it. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. This live is going to be end now.